This is Dan for totalRL. I'm with Mr. Darryl Powell. 450 career appearances yourself, 5 clubs, England, Great Britain. They're great numbers then. What's your best memories for your playing days? I know there's going to be a lot to...
Yeah. I think obviously playing international football was a big thing for me. I think I was at Sheffield for 11 years and I loved my time there. And a couple of promotions into the top division, which was great. But then being able to play international football from Sheffield, an unfashionable club, was pretty big for me. And playing at, I went on 3 tours, played at Wembley against the Aussies and beat them there. So for me, I think I was never the most gifted physically, but I always felt like I got the most out of myself. I worked really hard, and to be able to play international football was a massive plus for me.
Okay. So what would you say was your worst memory from your playing days?
I missed 2 finals. I played actually, ironically, against Castleford when I was at Sheffield. I did my knee ligaments, and I missed the Yorkshire Cup final and the World Cup final in the space of 2 weeks. So that was an heartbreaker. That so around injury, it was pretty tough, but. I just enjoyed my career, and highs and lows. Just had a great time with it.
What about the Australia experience? How was that?
Yeah, it was good. It was. I had a couple. I played in 1984 when I talk to players about it. I feel like I'm ancient because they're all young bucks. In 1984, I went and played in New Zealand for Glenora, and that was I was only 19. That was a decent experience. But then when I went to Australia, played at Balmain. I won a coaching scholarship to go out there and ended up.
Oh, is that how it come about?
Yeah, so I went over there and didn't really expect to play first grade.
Right.
But I got in first grade when it was the Winfield Cup and played. I think I played 5 games, and that was a massive experience for me. I came back, much more mature, and then when I went to the Gold Coast in '91, got married out there. Still married to the same girl as well. So nice. I got married in '91 and played at the Gold Coast. That was when there were the Seagulls.
Seagulls, yeah.
I was an international player then, and enjoyed it. It was the coach was getting a fair bit of stick at the time. I'm getting used to that nowadays myself, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Gold Coast was a great place to live. I was there for 3 months and really enjoyed my time there. Obviously, like I said, got married and. It was a great experience, and playing over there at that level of competition, you always look at the NRL and see what it's about. I really enjoyed having a dig at it, and it was pretty tough, but I learned a lot from it.
That's excellent. This Warrington is your 5th club as a head coach now, isn't it? Is it?
Let's have a look.
Keighley,
Leeds, Featherstone, Castleford, and there. So you're right. Yeah, your stats are right.
So what's your best memory as a coach so far? I mean, you've had some almost Challenge Cup successes.
Yeah.
You did very successful at Featherstone. So what stands out the most for you so far?
He's probably not. I mean, look, we were pretty close to winning something when I was at Castleford. I think it was more just the journey and taking the club from where it was to where it ended up being, and there's some close sort of finals along the way. Obviously, a grand final, a couple of Challenge Cup finals. They were disappointing that we couldn't get over the line, but more the journey. And when you look back and you think, it's always about when you go into a club, what does it look like? When you come out of a club, what does it look like? And what's been the impression that you've been able to make on players in particular, but the club as a whole. And and that was probably both Featherstone. I had some time at Leeds as well, and that was a little bit of a culture change that was needed there. Yeah,
because you're a Leeds boy, aren't you? Is that right?
No, I'm a Cass boy. I'm from Cass, but I ended up at Leeds, and I ended up having a 2.5 years as head coach there, where the culture needed changing. A lot of young players coming in. I needed to sort of strip some of the old guard out. Right, reasonably similar to here actually, and that was so I had a decent experience a long time ago.
And it doesn't happen overnight, that sort of thing.
Oh, it's tough. No, when I went to Featherstone, that was another culture change needed, and then Cass was, and then my opinion, this was. So, you know, in terms of changing cultures and ending up having an environment that people enjoy being a part of and it helps them grow as people and as players, then I think I've had a few decent experiences of dealing with that and then coming out the other side. And you know, I wasn't sure I was going to come out the other side last year. It was a fair old challenge, that, but we're here at the moment and we're in a pretty good place, and there's a lot of work to be done. But
of course,
I think the culture change has been pretty strong so far.
It has, yeah. I mean, just speaking to Mr. Danny Walker, I think he was 15 that's come in. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think we've had that many coming in.
Since last year.
Yeah, there's been a lot coming. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of players coming in and knitting all that together. But then changing, the players who were here and had some of the scars from last year, it's being able to heal those scars pretty quickly and then show that, well, you're different, it's different, and this is what we're going to do this year. Yeah. And that's been the challenge up to now, and we've fronted up those challenges so far. And there's going to be some more, and there's going to be some bumps in the road along the way. Yeah. But having a strong culture and all being united in what you're trying to do helps you to ride those bumps much more effectively.
Well, you said that perfectly, because Danny Walker said he didn't know what to expect coming back in pre-season from last season, like you said, the scars and stuff like that. So he's looking forward to the rest of the season now, especially seeing as you're 5-0 currently. Let's not touch wood, jinx it. So next question. Who's been your most inspirational person throughout your career? I know you've been in rugby league a long time, but is there anyone that's been inspirational to you? I mean, on a professional level, a personal level, it's going to be like wife and stuff like that.
Yeah, obviously family is really important to me. Yeah. You know, my life's support and been there all the way through. I met her when I was playing amateur rugby league back in the day, and you know, she wasn't that interested then. She's a little bit more interested now, but not that much, to be honest. But she has supported me all the way through, and I've got two girls who are awesome. You know, they let me know. I'm not on social media, so they let me know everything that's been said. They're all awesome. I'm a granddad now as well, so that journey's been awesome. But then from a professional level, there's two people that stick out, or three probably. Walt Watts was Liam Watts' granddad, who coached me when I was in the amateur game, and he was the first person who made rugby league sound like sense to me. He's not with us now, but he was outstanding. And then I went from there to Sheffield, and Gary Etherington has been someone who I've always looked up to. You know, just what he set up a club when he was 28 years of age. You know, at Sheffield, remortgaged his house, fully committed to rugby league. For me, he's the best administrator I've ever come into contact with, and you know, he's done some special things at Leeds, as he did at Sheffield. And then probably Malcolm, really, I would say, as you know, he coached me with Great Britain, and just his steely determination, commitment to being the very best professional. That's what he taught me, being the very best professional that I could be. And you didn't mess with Malcolm. You know, he was just such a tough competitor, both sides of the hemisphere. When you look at where he played and where he coached, not many people done what he's done in the game. So there are two people there who one as an administrator and a coach originally, and then Malcolm as a coach as I got to the sort of top end of the game, where he always talked about going to that next level and the fine detail in how you prepared yourself.
That's excellent. You had a stint with the Ireland national side, didn't you? Nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah, I did.
Is it still?
How long ago it was?
Yeah.
Wow.
20 years next year. Is it something that you would consider in the future, as well as your Warrington role, maybe coaching with the England setup, maybe looking toward the England head coach role in a few years' time?
You never say never, do you?
That's
it's short-term coaching. It's, you know, if you look at Sean Wayne at the moment, I know he'll get frustrated with not coaching all the time.
He'll want to get his teeth right into
it.
It's been stopped, especially because he took over during, it was COVID time, I think it was, or the back end of.
I mean, I have been offered the job in the past, and it didn't quite fit together.
Right, okay.
And whether it ever will, I don't know. I'm getting on a bit now. The oldest coach in Super League, I think people keep saying.
People keep reminding you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, but look, I mean that's why I love the job so much. You're around,
of course,
young blokes will make you feel
yeah,
young, you know, and just enjoy coaching. And whether I'd want to do that, I don't know. But you never say never. You know, I mean. Any opportunity that comes your way, is it the right one for you? I felt like Warrington was the right one for me at the time that it didn't come up. I decided I was going to leave Castleford, so I needed a new challenge, and this presented the perfect challenge. Probably didn't seem like that last year, but that's what the challenge is each time.
Of course, yeah.
And that's how you come out the other side. So, yeah, I don't know is the answer to that, but we'll, you know, I just crack on. I want to make a real success of this, and this is the only thing I think about at the moment in terms of my career is just getting this job right.
I understand that. Well, that brings me on to the next point. At each time in your career, it seems like you've took the right step at the right time, and you've managed to transfer success from each club. So now, like you said, after last year's put to bed, do you think you can get some success this year? I mean, you've had a great start, but like Danny Walker just said, it's got to be challenging for Honours Cups.
Yeah.
The Super League, I mean, the fans crave it here, don't they?
Yeah, 100%. It's always your year, is the.
Yeah, that's the old cliche.
I like to say that frustrates me more than anything, and
course,
that's something that I want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever hear that again, because we win the comp.
You can break the duck.
Never gets said again, and I'd like to be the man that stops that. You know what I mean? So, I think we're in a great place, and the team that we've signed a really experienced team, particularly in the middle. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's almost a 2-year team. This I say, you know, I mean, obviously there's some other players who might play for longer. You know, people like Paul Barnes, you know, Moose. You don't know, you know, Gil Dudson. You don't know how long those guys are going to play. But I see it as for 2 years here. I think we've got a great opportunity to really get after this competition. And then what we do from a succession planning is something that is always ongoing. But we've got an opportunity here now to be outstanding this year. We've set ourselves a great platform. But that's all it is. It's a platform. And people are still asking me about Cass, and it's gone. No, that's gone. It's just what next? What next? What are we going to do? People keep asking me about last year. It's gone. You know, I've never met anybody who can change history, but you can do something about the future. And that's what we're trying to do now. We do occasionally. I'll watch a game from last year and it sends shivers down my spine. So you know, I turn it off pretty quickly, and it's where we are now and what we're doing. Gives us a great opportunity with the foundation that we've created. Us being consistent and keep facing the challenges. There's some real big challenges just around the corner. This one will be a tough game tomorrow. We want to make sure we get that right first, and then we're building towards being a team that can that you come here and it's got a buzz about it, and everybody's proud to watch the team. Ultimately, that's all I'm interested in now.
Of course it is. You answered my question then with that answer. Next question with that answer. I was just about to say the overseas players coming in. They're not coming for a paycheck, are they? They're clearly here to fight for the shirt and the badge.
Yeah, and look, I think we spent a hell of a lot of time, me, Fixie, Steve Mills, with digging all the evidence, the footage, all the stats. We spent an unbelievable amount of time on FaceTimes, on Zooms, making sure that we got the right people in. You wouldn't believe how much detail we went into. So when we get Paul Vaughan doing what he's doing, it's no surprise. We got the right guy. When you obviously we'll see Josh McGuire. He's a goer. He's committed. He's aggressive. That's what we want. We want for him. We just don't want him to get sent off. So we just don't do that anymore. But then, we know what Sam Cassiano were going to do. We know what Gil Dudson were going to do. We know what Josh Drinkwater was going to do. And then it was all about just melding it all together and making sure that they all do the jobs effectively for the team. And I miss Matt Duffy out there. He's electric and he's a special player. And he will keep improving, getting playing to his potential every week. And we have got a team that can be feared if you just got to be consistent and then deliver what everybody wants. And that's a long way down the track, so I won't talk about that too much. But we like I say, we've set ourselves a good foundation to go on and do some special things.
It's brilliant. You mentioned Matt Duffy there, and I think I tipped him before a ball was even thrown at the start of the season to be man of steel. I mean, he's racking up the points each week. It could be a personal head-to-head between him and George by the end if they keep playing as they do.
Well, George is just phenomenal, to be honest. I watch him every day.
Trains like he plays, doesn't he? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
He's he's gone to another level in terms of how he leads, how he talks, how he thinks about. He's always thought about the game, but for me, he's just got such a driven mindset at the moment, and he's got a great combination there with Josh Drinkwater. You know, it's the different players, but the combination of different players generally gets the best out of each of them. And I think the balance of the spine with the two uppers that we've got and the pack, and I love our outside backs and the speed that we've got out there, and you know, two quality centres in Steph and Pete. And in behind them, Conor Wrench coming in, Greg Minikin coming in. You know, we've got a real good balance and depth of squad that's been tested a little bit at the moment, I have to say. But yeah, it's a good squad. It's a really deep, good squad.
That was bringing me on to my next question. Do you feel like the identity has been established now as a playing group?
Yeah, I think we're getting there.
I
think we're getting there. I think there's still some boxes to be ticked in terms of what we really want to be. For example, we're not a really ruthless team at the moment. We've won 5 games. They've all been a little bit different. We've had 2 opportunities to put a team to bed and allowed them back in. Huddersfield and then Lee last week. You know where that could be. If we're ruthless, then that's a 50 points to 8. It's not a 40 odd
or
20
a 30 or 30 28.
Yeah, it's not. They're not them, you know. And I think that's where our journey is taking us, is be a ruthless team. And I think like, we've set ourselves a platform for the way we want to play. It's not all singing, all dancing. We don't want it to be. We if you look at our team, I mentioned this to the players, we've got our middle unit players are scoring tries. If you look across the whole competition, the top try scorers are generally wingers. For us, it's quite balanced, and we've got Matty Ashton scored 6 tries, but Jimmy Ashton scored 2, Paul Vaughan scored 2, Tommy McHaley scored 2. You know, assists from Sam Cassiano.
So it is spread.
Darryl Clark scored 2. That area there in the middle is a threat. It's a significant threat to teams, and that's, we want to be a balanced team. I think that's what we've really got. So I think if you look at what is the identity, I think we're a well-balanced team that can hit teams all across the field.
Down the middle or on the sides.
But we want to be ruthless. We want to get a team by the throat and strangle them. And at the moment we aren't quite there, and that's something that's the next step for us.
Yeah, just touching on Matty Ashton there, I know we mentioned the other boys coming in with big names and stuff. I mean, I'm a Swinton fan, so I absolutely loved his year at Swinton. Blew us away. Do you think the amateur side and players like Matty Ashton are integral still to Super League?
Yeah, I mean, where do players come from? You know, we have to make sure that.
I mean, it's all well and good with like I said, sorry to interrupt, but the academies and stuff, but there is always them gems in there, and Matty's proved that.
Well, we're a late maturation sport, aren't we? You know, that's what everybody says all the time. So the community game is pivotal to that. So we want players, and we've done that this year, which I think is good from the RFL. Is they allow players to go back to the community club and play. So if they're, because the system with the reserves is not quite where it needs to be. So if they can go back and play, they need to play every week. So that helps us, you know. I think the scholarships it's a good system, but it's not quite right. You know what I mean? It's not. The player comes out of scholarship and thinks I've failed because I haven't been signed. That's wrong. You know, he should keep playing, because he might be one of those players like Matty Ashton who comes late and goes, I'm here, and I'm out, because he's probably going to play international football this year. You know, I watched him score 5 tries against Sheffield in that year.
The last game of the season, brilliant game.
And I'm there going, this kid's class, but then I'm going, right, listen, what's his name? You know, and you look at him now, he's a late bloomer, and he's lacked confidence as he's gone through, but now you look at him and he's absolutely outstanding. And those kind of players can't be lost. And that's why, as a game, we've got to make sure we haven't got enough players to be losing them at any point during their journey through rugby league. So we've got to make sure whatever happens, that they can go back and play. They're constantly playing, and they stay in rugby league. They don't see themselves as a failure. They see themselves as my opportunity being a little bit further down the track. And if we can get that right, then you know, the game will be stronger because of it. But I think if you look at Jimmy Harrison's journey, you know, he was working for Opta doing stats for a few years while he was trying to find his way through. And he's at, you know, Bradford got rid of him. He ended up at Batley. He goes to Featherstone. I tried to sign him 2 years ago at Castleford. This kid is class. You know, he's an outstanding player. He's an international player of the future. We just need to get him back on the field. But you know, those players are still there. You know,
course,
they are still there, and we've got to make sure that if they are out there, that we get the ones that we want to get in. And Matty Ashton's a great example.
Of course, yeah. Now, just moving on to this weekend, injury concerns. You've got people coming back in. Who's coming back in for this weekend? I don't think I've seen the squad update.
Yeah, so Gill's back in. Matty Russell's he's been in the squad. Obviously, we lose Josh Gill, so he'll play this week. So that'll be his first game back at the club. It's Gill Dodson's debut. Apart from that, we're not too far away from what we were. But we have got a few players. We have got a few players missing, middle unit players in particular. So Josh McGuire's got another couple of weeks before he's back, and we'll be classed to see him.
But everybody's itching to see Josh out.
Yeah, I just want to see him play. Yeah, I mean, he just needs to make sure he keeps his head and don't go out there trying to do it all in 10 minutes. Which that's the kind of player that he is.
It's a passion, isn't it?
But he's going to be loved here. He's going to be loved here by the fans because he's edgy. There's always a line, and then you have to stay sort of right side of the line, don't you? And he's one of those players who goes up to the line, sometimes crosses it, and we'll work together to make sure that he stays the right side of the line. But Warrington fans are going to love him. The rugby league fans love him because he's a rugby league player. Yeah. He's one of those players you go, I won't mind in and out because that's the kind of player he is. And, I'm looking forward to seeing him play. He's obviously got this week, the week after, and then we play Catalan away, and he's in and around it for that. And then we've got 3 games there, Crash Bangwell at the same. So
brilliant. Something to immediately get his teeth into when he gets back to the big games. He'll thrive off them. 100%. Looking at Castleford this weekend, they had a much needed win last week. So what type of test do you expect?
Oh, it'd be a tough game this. It's they've got a win, so they've got a bit of spirit. Although he's not a new coach, he is from an head coaching perspective. So you can see he did something last week to stimulate them for that game. And they'll see that as a stepping stone to winning games consistently. So, we're away from home. The M62 is notoriously difficult. We make sure that we navigate that, and our preparation's outstanding. And then we just need to go on to that unique pitch, because in rugby league it is unique. Featherstone have extended their pitch. That used to be 90 metres, now it's only Castleford. So it's unique, it's a little bit different. And you have to play it a certain way. You have to defend outstandingly well, otherwise you're on your try line consistently. I've heard coaches talk about it for 8.5 years, so
better than everyone.
Everybody sees it as different, and they play on it every other week. It'll be a tough game. They've got outstanding players there. If they all click, a real challenge. We've got to make sure that we're at our standards and we play as well as we can, and then the rest will be history. We just got to look after ourselves, not worry too much about the Cats. We know what they're going to do. We just got to deal with it.
Thank you very much for your time today, Darryl. I really appreciate it. We'll catch up with you again soon.
All right, bud.
Thank you, fella.
No worries. All the best.